Now we're recording. So, this is John Knight. He was in the U.S. Air Force, and he'll tell you his story. So, can you, uh, what were you in, or can you tell me, what your rank was, what your MOS, or what did you do while you were, and what did you do in the Air Force, and where, uh, where did you serve? Um, and can you give me details of your mission and your training? Um, so
Yes, well, my training in the Air Force was with the vehicle maintenance, and I worked up all the way from a one striper on up through, and I did repair equipment to support aircraft and general purpose vehicles. I eventually became a superintendent of vehicle maintenance and had many men and pieces of equipment under me. And in Vietnam, well, as far as Vietnam went, I was on my way there, and there was a little bombing going on at Da Nang, and we couldn't land. And I landed in Thailand, Bangkok, and they picked me up there and took me to Chak Lee, which is in the northern part of Thailand. And there I was performing maintenance again with several people. I was a master sergeant, and I enjoyed every bit of it. We were bombing Cambodia at the time, and of course, that was on a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week deal, which caused a lot of work. They bombed my maintenance shop one time. It was pretty hazardous, but it was a job that we had to do. We done it to the best of our ability. The Air Force, I was stationed all over Europe and back in the States and so on. I spent 23 years in the military, and I think that from an educational standpoint, there's nothing better. You can learn more or less any trades, and the more you show that you want to learn, you'll find that people come out from everywhere to help you get ahead, and so on. But there's not much else to say. It's a little scary, of course, with the bombing going on in Cambodia and Vietnam, but we made it. And I think that we got the finest Air Force in the world, the finest military in the world. There's none as good as, and it's all teamwork between the men and the officers and the enlisted working together, and the missions pointed out what we had to do, and we done it, no matter what the problems were.
So did you, what kind of maintenance did you do? Like, what were you working on when you were stationed? Did you have any uh, like uh, did you have any special objectives that you had to do, or was it and when you went to the war, did you understand why you were there?
Oh, you bet. We understood before we got there what our mission was, and we just done it to the best of our ability. Supplies was always coming in, and we just doing our thing with everything. And me, my responsibilities was vehicle maintenance again, and I had fire departments, one of them was aircraft support, and it also included refueling and refueling vehicles, trucks, pumps, filters, and so on down the line. And that's what we done. It was 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. That was quite challenging, but we managed to do it. Of course, that was in the jungle when I was in Thailand, miles from everywhere and anything. It was, you had the environment, which was a problem, but it was a job that we was proud to do.
Did you have any like interesting stories that from your experiences there? Like any like stories of like the locals they would tell you about the war? Did you have any like personal experiences with like any dangerous threats? Like you said how your unit was moved to Thailand because the airfield in Da Nang was bombed out. So, do you have any interesting like aspects of like your service there? Like any like what did you have any cool like or interesting stories?
Not really. It just that it was a job that we had to do, and it was demanding, of course, and challenging. Like I say, we had problems of getting equipment and machinery to us, and vehicle parts, and then of course money. How much we spent was well, it was always budgeting and stuff like that. Um, just well, the bombing of my shop one time, a plane come in and had problems landing, and eventually it blew up going down the runway. Luckily enough, the pilots got out of the aircraft, and a few things that went on. It's hard to know. It's been a long time now since I can remember what went on, but there was always something going on. But you know, to point out any individual case, it was just that you had to eat good food, and you had to stay healthy because of the environment was a little hazardous as far as that went. But other than that, I feel I done real good there.
Did you have when you were not working away on the maintenance on the vehicles? Did you do any like what did you do in your free time?
I used to ride a bike around the base, and I used to go to a Thai restaurant off of the base, and different things. Once in a while, you go to a local club, but there wasn't that much to do. But it was something that we just had to do and put up with. Of course, our own support was pretty adequate. Our food was good as far as the chow hole goes. It was quite good. And like I say, it was teamwork that got us by. If you can imagine bombs going out of the base continually around the clock with F-111s. We had a sort of a convoy of bombs going out all the time, and of course it put quite a demand on us to keep everything running so that they could do
it. Okay, so how effective do you think the air power was at the time in Vietnam, and in hindsight now, how do you think it was then, and then how looking back at it, how do you think it worked out?
Well, we had the F-111 and other supporting aircraft, but to me, I thought the 111 was an amazing aircraft, beautiful aircraft. We had one, what should I say, hit where one plane was going and one was coming back, and it was just minor damage. But like I say, it was going around the clock, and the demand was very heavy for everybody, including the pilots. But as far as the quality of the technology in the aircraft was incredible. Like I say, again, the 111, as well, even the pilots said that was the best thing they'd ever sat in. But now, of course, you've got the ones we've got now. We've got incredible aircraft right now.
So, okay, so we talked about the air power. Now, what do you think about going into the war, or do you think staying into a war? Do you think it was under? Do you think we should have gone in? Do you think we should have stayed? Do you think we should have stayed? How long? Back home, I've studied how there was quite an anti-war movement later on in the year trying to pull us out. Do you have any what do you think you should have stayed, or do you think you should have? What do you think? What was the best choice in your from your experience?
Well, it was a job that had to be done, and we had leaders, the president and everybody, determined that we needed to be there to do something. And the way it was put to us is that we needed to be there and get something done. And when you're dealing with a communism, that is something that's, that's a bad mess, really. And we need to eradicate it. But it's, like I say, it's when you've got the general public in America running around dancing, yelling and screaming that we shouldn't be there, we should do this, we should do that. It's a little unfair for the veteran. Well, it was the military people. They kind of lose heart, but of course, our leadership in the military today and then is somewhat where they do take care of some of that stuff to make us realize how important our job is. So, it's just one of those political things, more political than anything. I'm not so sure the end result was very good. Our prisoners in Saigon and all that, or not Saigon, anyway, in North Vietnam. But it was a trying situation, and we just followed what we was told to do. And the decisions were not ours as far as what was going on with the politics in America. Some of it was a little disgusting, I must say, as far as the support that we got. And that's probably to this day that these things are getting adjusted a little bit better. But that's about it.
So, can you think of any parallels between the war in Vietnam and what we're facing today in the Middle East, or what could potentially happen in Korea and Vietnam and China today?
Well, we're sitting on a sort of a nest egg of communism in North Korea, which is about to go bang, it looks like. Well, they're trying to go bang. It's got to be a mess if they did try. The Chinese are not the best of anything. Again, made basically communism. The socialism system is kind of very detrimental. And as we've seen, as far as North Korea goes right now, they're trying to come out after us. And I don't think that's going to happen. And as far as do I think that we should do this, we should do that, we've got some marvelous leaders in the military today to point the way of what we should do. And my thoughts are that we need to do some thinking as far as like the refugees, the people. I look at it, if we'd have, before the like ISIS have done what they've done, they've got the people running every which way. If we'd have gone in and eliminated ISIS when they first started getting a foothold, we would have stopped all this immigration problem or this immigrant. That makes sense. I think that's good thinking. And we got people dying. The last I heard, there was 10,000 children that's missing. They don't know what happened to them. This has come about because of, like I say, the movement of people out of their towns and villages. And we need to be going at it maybe a little different, getting out there. And if we got a problem where we got these yahoos that's trying to take over and control the people, then maybe we ought to slip in there and take care of them before they ever get a foothold. But that's about it as far as I'm concerned.
That's very. I think most of those ideas came out of the Vietnam War, and we're dealing with those now too. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. So another question is, how did your faith play a role in while you were deployed abroad, and how does it affect you now?
I didn't quite understand what you said.
Okay. How did your faith play into your life when you were deployed, and like how has it played into your life ever since you've left the service?
Well, after all the years in the military service, you get to sort of what should I say? You try to make the best of your knowledge, and from transforming from military man to whatever you want to, let's say, businessman is something that I transformed into. Is of all the I think if you was to be trained in all the basics, and then you can blossom out from there and be a leader of that particular field. And that's what I'm still at it. I'm still doing it and enjoying it. And like I say, I base this on my military experience.
What about your religion? How did that affect you in the war?
Well, you just keep the faith and hope for the best. It's, I actually maintained worship every Sunday and behaved myself as best I could, and that's it. It's again, that's another basic that you're sort of brought up into, and you live with it, and you enjoy the joys the best you can while the strife is going on.
So has it uh like after the war, has it gotten stronger, or like have you like seen like a difference after the war or during the war and then after, like were you did it change, like did you grow more into the faith, uh, or yeah, like how was it after, like was it pretty much the same, or did you become more close to your faith?
Well, I really didn't quite understand what you mean, but my way of life has always been really the same. One as a military person and now as a civilian. But basically, I still cut my hair short and I still try to be tidy and use good manners and politeness. All the assets that I'd learned in the military, I still sort of live that way of life. No, it's very good as far as I'm concerned.
Hmm. Wow. Um, Let me see if I have any more things that I need to hit on. Um, let's see. Uh, do you have any regrets after leaving the service, or after? Yeah, like do you think do you, uh, uh, yeah, do you have any like regrets off after coming out or leaving, or has it been all positive since you've left the service?
Well, when I first got out, the first 6 months, I was trying to get back in, and then I heard that they were taking people in, and I guess I escaped that by the skin of my teeth because my career fields were demanding, or there was a need, and some of my co-pods they were called back in, but no. No regrets or nothing. Actually, I've traveled around the world. I've seen a lot and done a lot, and it is a very rewarding experience if you go at it the right way. And I feel I have. And right now, I'm supposed to be retired, but I'm in business, and I'm still doing it and enjoying every bit of it. And like I say, it's based on my training in the military service.
Okay, so um, so what was one of the most? What was your favorite place to where you've been in the world? Um, so you've traveled over the place. Where was the what was your favorite?
Alaska.
Oh, okay. Um, how? Why?
Do
Like,
what?
was there? Is there a reason why it was your favorite?
Well, I worked, and I run a maintenance shop, a facility there, and I took care of fuel pipeline and some road equipment. I done road work as well. I operated heavy equipment. Um, I done a lot in a year up there, and it was quite rewarding. Seeing the wildlife, doing the fishing, and working up there under the conditions. I thought it was great.
So, I have one more question. What would you say to any prospective military uh, careers, to a young college person, or even younger than that, like a young high school or like a recent high school graduate? Uh, any advice for?
The number one is education, and education to me is there's nothing better. Education, education. Whatever we do, we tend to get educated in what we're doing, and from there, it all depends whether it's an education that is sort of a recorded or by diploma, or an education in your way of life, or the way you do things, the way you think, and so on down the line, of course, and that is very important. And in my case, it was more of what I learned to do, and I was continuing, I'm still learning. And education is the number one thing in this life in America. If we stand still, nothing happens. We've got a lot to do protecting what we've got, and what we've earned, and what we work for. So, it's a way of life. Education, school, learning, you name it. And of course, getting the credits for it. There's a lot of credits to be got out there, and it's something that I stand behind is school, education. If you want to get anywhere in this world, be proud of what you're doing, and that's the way to go.
Okay. I think you've covered everything. Thank you very much. And this is my grandpa, by the way. So thank you very much for watching.